Привет, Dobro's out of it. Welcome back, Mr. J family. It is me, Mr. J, with the Mr. J Show. And this just popped up on my For You page and it looked interesting, so I wanted to check it out. I don't know who this young man is. It says Sovietsky. It just says Soviet Union, and then it says Karaspi. Wait, Kara, Kara, Kar, 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 Kakari. I'm so. You guys know what it says. Anyways, I wanted to watch it. It looked interesting. Let me turn on the subtitles. Anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, hit that super thanks button, and like always, спасибо for watching. И любить тебя.
Я помню рассказы, помню фото в альбомах. Там строили бам, но все решали в обкомах. Там были поэты, там снимали кино. Там из космоса Юра махал нам в окно. Академики славили науку наперебой. И любой пацан знал, кто такой Лев Толстой. 15 республик, мощный кулак. От Карпат до Курил, красный рел, наш флаг. Риял он над спортсменами, что страну представляли. Была и форма, и честь, тот союз уважали. В хоккее Канаду мы рвали лед, трещал под коньками. Весь мир знал этих ребят, не сломать они камень. И пусть говорят, что умер Союз. Да, были минусы, но был там и плюс. Люди хоть бедно, но весело жили. И мир на земле они защитили. Была уверенность в завтрашнем дне. Была учеба.
That's actually true. It says, although people were poor, and they lived happily, and they protected peace on earth. You know, I know most Westerners aren't as educated as me when it comes to, you know, Russian history. But, you know, a Westerner like me who understands the Great Patriotic War, and all of, you know, that history, This is correct. Although people were poor during the Soviet Union, they lived happily and they protected peace because yeah, I like it already.
Они защитили, была уверенность в завтрашнем дне. Была учеба и лимонад на столе. Эпоха, что в прошлом, тобой я горжусь. Великий и могучий Советский Союз. Дворы, где гоняли футбол до заката. Пионерский галстук, зорница, ребята. Стакан газировки, всего 3 копейки. Пломбир, вафли, тусим на скамейке. Соседи как родственники, двери настежь. Помогали друг другу без лести и фальши. На юг всем заводам палатки, гитары и песни у моря под закаты сансары смотрели. Ну погоди, верили в чудо и знали, что завтра обязательно будет. А страна не исчезла с карты, пойми. Она в ДНК, она где-то внутри. И пусть говорят, что умер Союз. Да, были минусы, но был там и плюс. Люди хоть бедно, но весело жили. Мир на земле они защитили. Была уверенность в завтрашнем дне. Была учеба и лимонад на столе. Эпоха, что в прошлом, тобой я ржусь. Великий и могучий Советский Союз.
The video is AI, but wow, AI is getting really good. I'm not saying the song is. The song is beautiful. I'm saying the video is AI, but it's very, very good. It's getting incredibly good.
Той страны уж нет на карте, но память о Союзе не умрет. Там научили крепко строить на стандарте. Гагарин поехал в космический полет. Это наша история, фундамент всего. Спроси у любого, кто родом оттуда. Ты помнишь Союз и себя самого?
Он помнит, он ждет, он верит в чудо.
И пусть говорят, что умер Союз. Да, были минусы, но был там и плюс. Люди хоть бедно, но весело жили. Мир на земле они защитили. Была уверенность в завтрашнем дне. Была учеба и лимонад на столе. Эпоха, что в прошлом, тобой я горжусь. Великий и могучий Советский Союз. И пусть говорят, что умер Союз. Да, были минусы, но был там и плюс. Люди хоть бедно, но весело жили. И мир на земле они защитили. Была уверенность в завтрашнем дне. Была учеба и лимонад на столе. Эпоха, что в прошлом, тобой я горжусь. Великий и могучий Советский Союз.
See, and music.
Сделано в СССР.
What a beautiful song. And you know me, like I mean, I have "Я русский" tattooed on my arm. Or is it this one? I can never figure out a way to show you guys. But yeah, I have "Я русский" tattooed on my arm, and I don't buy into the Western propaganda. The last like 3 or 4 years, that I've been doing this, I've had lots of people in that have told me like history that I never knew, and it's because we are not taught in our school system in the West. And actually, I'm like 40 years old, so back when I went to school, the the education system was much better. There's like this wild statistic that like I think they're called Gen Zs. I think they're like the youngest generation right now or something. I don't know how all that works, but like most of them can only read at like a third grade level. I might be wrong, but it's something like that. And that's crazy to me because I'm sitting here learning different languages at 40 years old still and reading books, and that's not my point, but my point is in Western education we're only taught from like we're only taught about basically like Cold War era stuff and like up to like 1991, and from 1991 forward we're not really taught anything when it comes to like history and about Russia. And so if we're only taught until 1991, and then the rest of the Western propaganda is Russia bad, Russia bad, Russia bad, like it's understandable that people in the West like take for example, I was at my how do you say in Russian, Siholik, and I was uh I was explaining to my Siholik about Russian history, and she's maybe 10 years older than me, maybe 50s or something, and she didn't discount it and like brush it off when I was telling her about Russian history. She was just like intrigued, and she was like, I've never heard this before. And so I actually sent her some videos of people talking about the history. And see, the thing is I don't think most Americans, or let's just say Westerners, let's say in general, um, it's not necessarily ignorance. It's one of two things. It's either they weren't taught about it in school, because like I said, we don't learn anything about the Russia after 1991 borders were established, right? But then after that, through Western propaganda, we are only taught that Russia bad because Russia bad, which is nonsense. Because I say this all the time to people. I go, I have thousands and thousands of Russian Mr. J family, and they're the nicest people on the planet. Like really, I mean, um, and I don't know. I just enjoy doing my part, telling people who I speak to. Um, when I talk, I like telling people who I actually speak to in person, like the truth about Russia and the Russian people, and how they've basically been vilified for no reason for the last, well, I was born in like 85, so 1991 is like 6 years later. So for 34 of my, well, for 34 years, people have been taught here in the West that Russia is bad, but they're not given a reason why. And so I try to talk to people as much about Eastern European life and Eastern Europeans because, like I said, Russians are some of the nicest people I've ever had the pleasure of having communications with. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. Sorry, you guys know I get that way sometimes when it comes to stuff like this because, I mean, it, if you vilify a country for long enough, for 3 decades, of course people are going to believe the propaganda. And what I believe is that I have my own mission to deprogram that quote unquote Russia is bad perspective and just try to educate people on what really has been happening in the last 35 years and how the people in the West are missing like 35 years of history because not because they're ignorant, but just because they weren't taught anything after 1991 borders. And then for the next 35 years, people were just through Western media and propaganda like Russia is bad. And so I think it's my job, not my job, but I have a duty to the Russian people to tell, you know, to try to educate as many Westerners as I can. And they can like or not like Russia after I tell them the truth, and that's fine, right? That's fine. But I at least want to tell them the truth and let them know that there is that there is history after 1991. You know, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I like the song. It was awesome. Like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Sorry, I got put in a bad mood when I started talking about how stupid some Western people are. And like I said, it's not their fault. It's just frustrating for me. Anyways, I love you all. Lubię Ciebie. Like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Hit that super thanks button. Like always, спасибо for watching. I lubię Ciebie. I do свидания.